This is the video called Build Patterns. Down here there's a brown box. It says Build Patterns. I'm going to click there. Now we see in Build Patterns that here are all of the app lists. The patterns you build should be put in one of these lists, list A through list B, because these lists are saved with your application, and when your application is started, these values are loaded back into the lists. Over here we see under list A, pattern number 1, number 2, number 3, each is allocated 20 values of list A. This one starts at offset 0, this one at offset 20, this one at offset 40. The green boxes indicate that there's nothing at those locations right now. However, here there's some data, so that 20 values is marked in red, indicating you can't start your pattern there. Over here there's a box in blue that indicates there is a pattern that starts there, and it's called pattern 51, and that it is more than 20 values long. It went into the second 20, and that's why that box is marked brown. After that we see another pattern exists, pattern 53. And below it, another one, pattern 54. Well, we're going to make pattern 55, so we're going to click on 55. Here we see it says pattern 55, which starts at list C, offset 80. Down here we see that it already put a point on our chart over here at 500, 390. This is X 500, Y 390. This dot is 500, 500. Well, I don't want my first position there, but I would like it to be over here. There. Now I want another position, so I go insert below the highlighted. This is the highlighted one. So I'm going to put it below there, and I'm going to put it here. Now I have a line. I'm going to get another one, so I want to put it below that one. I'm going to put it here. I'll go get another one, and I'm going to put it a little more. Come on, move a little more. There. Now, it completed it by going over here, and in fact, if I fill it, it will show me a box, even though I didn't draw the last side. But because I want to add things to this drawing, I am going to complete it. I'm going to make this side simply by saying, okay, I want another point, and I'm going to put it on top of this point. There. So now I completed it, even though I didn't need to. If I fill it in, you'll see it's still just a square. Now, I think I would like to have a curve over here. Well, when you make a curve, you have to position yourself at the dot, which is the second dot of the line. So that would be this one. Alright, it highlighted that one in yellow, indicating that, yes, this is where I'm going to put it. What I want to put is a curve. I decided I wanted to be a type 12. And here is size. I want it to be of size 42. Oh, but I like to have it curve outward and not inward, so I'm going to go up here and switch it the other way. Well, I would also like to have a curve on this side, curving outward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, because that's the second point of this size. It started there, ended there. So I'm going to say curve. Now I know I want it to be of size 42. I want it to be of type 12. But I want it curved the other way. Alright, now I have this. I could fill that in, see what it looks like. Well, that looks nice. Alright. Well, now I want to include another pattern on the sides. Say from this point to this point, I want to put a pattern. Well, I have to put it at the second point. Well, that would be this one. I want to put a pattern, so I click here. The pattern I want to put there is pattern 54. And over here I click for the size of it. I want it to be size 22. Well, there it is. But again, I would like to have it the other direction. So I'll click it to switch directions. Now I want the same thing, but down here. Well, this is the first, this is the second. I have to go to the second one. I believe it's this one. Yep, because this one's yellow now. So it's the one that goes from here to there. Again, I would like to put a pattern there. I click on pattern. I tell it the size, 22, then I click what pattern, and I say 54. And then I come up here and say go the other direction. Now I'll fill that in. Alright, that's a neat pattern. That's going to be my pattern 55. Now, in my pattern 55, I told it to use pattern 54. So I'm going to click here to go back, and I want to look at pattern 54. Now the reason pattern 54 could be included as one of the sides is because here there is a side. This pattern went like this, up, down, and then it ended, meaning it didn't finish. So if it's included with another pattern, the side in which you place it, this is going to finish this. Okay, so that's why this pattern could be put on a side of another pattern. Alright, we'll click off of here. Now we see there's number 55. If I click it, I go to my pattern. Now I can exit. Well, why don't we go to list values, go to list C where we put our pattern. Whoop, that must not be list C. Sorry. We go list values, list C. Oh, G looks like a C. I'm sorry. Here at list C, offset 80 is the pattern we made. It says we have 13 values in our pattern. Well, we know 5 of them were points. So what are the other ones? Well, after this point, it has a 4 indicating a curve, and here are the two parameters for the curve, 12 and 42. Here it says that there's a pattern to be included. It says the pattern is 53 of size 22. And here it says there's a curve with parameters 12 and 42. And here there's the other pattern, which is pattern 53, size 22. So there in list C at offset 80 is the pattern we built. So that's the end of build patterns.